Okay, so in this video, we'll go over conditional formatting. We'll go over if conditions, and we will go over Vlookup. So we're going to start from where we ended last week. We have this income and expense sheet right here. So first, we're going to look into conditional formatting. If you're in your home tab, conditional formatting is right here for you. Now, what does conditional formatting do, or why do we want to use it? So let's look at conditional formatting area. So you can do some color coordination. You can put color scales there. We will start from coloring. Now, what we want to do is we want to say if the sales are more than $43,000, then color it green. For services, if its sales are more than 43,000, color it green, otherwise color it red, right? So let's go here and let's check that. So in my home tab, I'm going to go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and greater than, less than, between. So we were talking about greater than. So we said anytime this cell's value is greater than $33,000, mark it red, and we'll take mark it green. Okay, so now this is marked green. So let's go here. We're going to say this time less than $43,000, mark it red, done. That's how simple it is, right? We can make it more complicated as we go. Why? Because let's say if I put $43,000 here, now it's a different story, because we are saying let's look at, I forgot what conditional formatting I had added on. So in order for me to look at what conditional formatting I had, I'm going to drop down and I'm going to click on manage rules. So this one says if the value is more than $33,000, right? So I want to change it. In order for me to change it, I can click on edit rule and change it to $43,000. So anytime the value is more than $43,000, then it's going to color it green. Now let's look at this one and this one, manage rules. Anytime value is less than $43,000. Now this one is good, it's 42, so it's marked red. This one is 43. What do I do now? That's the problem, right? So if I go even a little bit more, it will be marked green, but it's at $43,000. So what do I do at $43,000? So I'm going to click on the same cell and I'm going to click here and I'm going to say highlight. If it is equal to $43,000, then mark it yellow. Now, you see, now it's starting to get more complicated. I would like to copy the same format right here. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add another rule. Highlight if it is great, if it's equal to $43,000. This. Okay, now let's put this one at 44,000. What happened? Why can't I see green here? The reason for that is the rule that I had copied here are not. So let's say if I move it to $43,000, this does not turn into red, because I did not put all the rules there for under, above, and all, right? So I had only put it in for above $43,000 and equal to $42,000, not less than. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add the rule here, less than $43,000. And here I'm going to add another rule, greater than $43,000. No, sorry. I gotta go change this rule because I don't want it red. Manage rules. So above $43,000, I don't want it red. I want it green. So I'm gonna go change it here. Okay. Now this is how simple it is to add in conditional formatting. Okay, and now I'm gonna highlight all of these cells, right? So earlier what happened is I added these separately. You don't have to do that. You don't have to add it separately. I can go all of them right here, and I can, and if you see actually, if I go to manage rules here, you'll see that these rules are applied, but they are not applied to these cells right here. So these are not applied to these cells. There is no rule that is applied to this cell, okay? So what I can do is I can just go here and manage rules, and now I just have to make sure that applies to C4. You see it says income and expense C4. I'm saying, you know, don't just apply to that, apply to C4 to, actually let's change it to B4 to C22, and now you will see this rule has applied to this green one has applied to all of that, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and equal sign this one. I'm going to remove this one, and then this one I'm going to keep. I'm going to remove this one too, because I don't need multiple times. I just need 3 rules: green, red, green, and yellow one, right? For all of the cells. In order to show it to you guys, I did it separately, but now I'm gonna make sure it's all. So this one, I already copied it, so this one is good. Let's go here and change this one to all of them. Let's go change this one to all of them. Now when I hit OK, you will see things will change a little bit, right? So anytime it's above $43,000, it's green. Anytime it's less than $43,000, it's red. Again, this is only for this exercise. It could be a different scenario, but I want you to understand the concept of how conditional formatting works. Now, there are a couple of other things that you can do, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of this. So I hope you guys understood it. So now I'm just going to highlight all of this and clear the rules, okay, from selected cells. Rules are gone. Now I'm going to select them again, and I'm going to say color scales, okay? And I'm going to choose this one right here. So when I do this, it automatically chooses a different color scale for me. Now, I can go ahead and manage this rule and say, okay, what do I want to do with this? I want to see this rule applied to different sheet. Where this you want to apply this to the rules that you're looking at. I'm looking at only current selection rule. You can look at the rules that are applied to the whole sheet, or just this this worksheet. So currently, it's only current selection that I have. I can go ahead and edit. Click on Edit Rule right here, and now I'm editing this rule. So my lowest value is red, my highest value is green, and it changes the color as it goes. So it goes to 145 is the most green color, and as it's coming down, and 5,000 is the red color, right? I can change it here, and I can say, okay, you know what? The highest value is going to be blue. Now when I hit OK, you'll see things change. Now it's blue to yellow. Now you're all saying, why is it green there? Is because while it's transitioning, it must have picked up that color that there needs to. And actually, we can look at it here. You see, there's a point where you get a green color right here. You can go a little bit more crazier and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to add this color here, and instead of this, I'm going to do this red color. Okay, when I hit OK, you will see it goes completely crazy. So it's up to you however you like to manage these rules. I'm going to go ahead again, and I'm going to keep it to red, yellow, and I'm going to go to green here and hit OK. Hit OK. Now I have nice red, yellow, bright colors here. Okay, so this is our conditional formatting. I hope you guys learned it. It's very simple, but it helps you determine your chart very quickly, very easily. Okay, now we're going to learn condition if, right? So the reason if conditioning, in if condition we're going to bring is if, what is an if condition, right? So it's basically saying if you do something, if there is a certain certain thing has happened, then do A. If it's not, if didn't happen, then do B. Just an example here that, as we said earlier, if a value is above $43,000, change the background color of that cell to green. If it's less than $43,000, make it green or make it red. That is an if condition. If a certain condition is met, then do A. If it's not met, then do B. So here I'm going to go and I'm going to say, I'm going to hit equal sign and I'm going to write if. This is how it starts. First, a logical test. What do you want to test? So I'm going to test if this value that is in my B8, so I'm giving a reference to cell B8, is greater than, this is the greater than sign, to $175,000. Okay, and then I'm going to put a comma here. Now I'm saying, and this is the best part of Excel, that you can actually see what is happening with the formula. So first, if logical test is if the value of B8 is greater than $175,000, then if it is true, so you see, this is what you're going to put if it's something is true. So if the income is more, then you're going to say, I'm going to write business is good. Okay, and I'm putting quotation mark because it is a text. Now I put comma here. Now if the value is false, meaning if it's not 175,000, then I'm going to say business is going down. Okay, quotation close, parenthesis close, and I'm going to hit enter. Now you see how it says business is good? Now imagine if I change this value because we were adding them, right? So if I change this to 30,000. Now business is going down. And you were saying, why is it staying green? Because it's still the highest value. Okay. Now I want to copy the same formula here. So I'm just going to drag it here. And you will see by dragging it, this is B8. See B8. When I dragged it here, now it is C8. As we had discussed last week, that the reference, if you want a reference to certain cell, specific cell, then it has to be, you want to make sure that you put the dollar sign there. But in this case, I wanted to move the cell to the next cell, so this is good. Now, I want to do the same formula here, and I'm going to say equal if logic, if this value is greater than $145,000, comma, then I'm going to say, then I'm going to say expenses are out of control. Okay, then I'm going to go here and put a comma here again and say expenses are in control. Okay, there you go. The expenses are out of control. Expenses are in control. And then I'm going to copy the formula here. Okay, this is good, right? So now what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is not, you see how it's going to the next cell? I don't want to do this. I want to wrap the text. So in order for me to wrap the text, I want to wrap the text for everything that is happening here. I'm going to go to my home tab, and this group right here, this is saying wrap text, boom, wrap text. Okay, I can make the cell a little bit smaller, and you can see now the text is being wrapped. Okay, so this is our if condition. Now, if condition has a huge options to it. Okay, because I want you to understand the concept of if condition. It is you're measuring, you're looking at it, you're assessing if a logical condition equal greater. So this is a greater sign. Let me just put them here. Greater than sign is this, equal this. This is an equal sign. Less than is this. Less than and equal is this. Greater than and equal to is this. Okay? So just remember this and you guys will be good to go. Okay? Now I'm going to delete this right here. Okay, so now we have covered conditional formatting and if condition. These are the easy ones, okay? Now we're going to get into a little bit tough part where I'm going to be working with Vlookup, vertical lookup. This is a little bit difficult, but it's not crazy, right? So imagine I'm creating a form where I want to say rent, right? And I hit enter, and then I want to see the rent of how much I paid in total, maybe, or the rent for the month of January, right? Or let's say if there's a list of your products that you have and you want to search those products, then you can use that for that purpose too. Basically what it does, this VLOOKUP, is it looks for a value that you want in a certain group. So I can say look for the value in this group, so it's going to look for it's going to go use the vertical lookup to see the text that you typed into this column, into the first column, and then it's going to say whatever value you want to show. You want to show first, you want to show second value, whatever you want to show, it will come up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working with the VLOOKUP formula. So I'm going to say equal sign VLOOKUP. So before I do this, let me just do this here. Expense type. Okay, so what I want to say is whenever an expense type is typed here, right? So let's say if I say rent here, right? Then I want to see the rent for January here. Rent for January or January. Okay, so so if I say rent here, what I want to do is I want to put the January rent here and the February rent on F13. Okay, so so let's go and see what are we going to do here. So I'm going to say equal sign. Okay. What do I want to search? I want to search the value that enters here. Okay, so before I do this, VLOOKUP, I got to write the VLOOKUP right. So I want to search the value that I enter here, comma. Now it's saying table array. Table array, it's asking you to give the range of the values that it's going to look into. So I want to look into all of this right here. Let's go here too. Okay, so it's going to search between A11 to C16. Okay, what do you want to show? I want to show the first column here, right? Because in January, this is the January one, so I want to show the second column, sorry. So I selected 3 columns. First one, it's going to search, second one, and third one. So I want to show the first value of the first one. So let's say if it found rent, it's going to show this value right here. If it's going to found payroll, it's going to show right here. put comma. Now, range lookup. You want to do approximate match or exact match? I'm going to do an exact match. Approximate match is let's say if something says rent or RE. So whatever comes first, it will go for that. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. Nothing. This means it did not find what you were looking for. All right, so I'm just going to write rent here and boom. Oh, I don't want first, I want second column, sorry. So now $3,500 was the rent here. And now let me copy this here. Why did it come up here? It should have worked, right? So let's look at it. So the reference that I was giving to what value I'm looking for, F12. No, I did not want it F12, I wanted F11. So why did it copy over? Because I did not have given the reference to absolute to this cell. So I'm going to go $sign here and $sign here. It means it will never change the cell anymore. Wherever I copy this, it's going to keep the cell from there. Okay. So I go here, copy the cell down. Okay, what did it copy? Okay, so because of this right here. So I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to give an absolute reference to cell A. Okay, now when I do this, now boom, I have it. $3,500, $3,500. If I change the value here, it's $3,600, and go here. Oh, that's strange. So search for rent. Oh, because here, okay, very good. So here I have number 2 showing up. I want number 3 to show up. Okay. So if I go here and I change it to now 3,200, 3,200 show up. The reason that 35 was showing earlier is this was the value right here. This is the column that you want to show, right? So let's say if I add now for March 2, right? So if I want to add the values for March, okay. If I want to add the values for March, okay, if I copy this down, 3,200 is still going to show up. The reason for that is it's still showing 3. There are 2 problems with that. First of all, it's even if I put 4 here, it's not going to show because I'm searching it only in those 3 columns. Okay, so I have to change my formula here a little bit. And when it comes to table array, I need to search in this table array. I need to go not only C7, I need to C16, I need to say D16 so that it's searching the whole thing. Then I'm going to copy all of this, right? And you see it's all saying 3,500 coming from the first value because I'm showing 2 here. Second column, the value from the second column. I want to show the value from the third column. And here I want to show the value from fourth column. There you go. So now you can see the difference here. Again, it is a little bit difficult concept, so I'll say that one more time. Okay, I'm going to delete all of it. Okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is anytime I write whatever I write here, rent, payroll, taxes, cost of goods, whatever, I want to show the value of how much expense that happened in that month. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Vlookup formula. First, I'm going to say lookup value. What do I want to look up? Anything that I enter here. Then I want to look up within this right here. Yeah, this is the table array that I gave. This is the range that I gave. Then I want to show for this January, because this is my 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, right? So January is my first column or second column. So I'm going to put 2 here, and I want to do exact match. So I'm going to write false, and I'm going to hit this. Boom. Why is it NA? Because there's nothing written here. So if I do this, this is all good. Now when I scroll down, I want you to notice 2 things. First, this one was looking at for F11, right? So now I go this. Now it's looking for F12. Okay, so I'm going to go here and change my formula, and I'm going to change it to, I'm going to keep it F11, but I'm going to do absolute reference to that cell. Then I'm going to also make sure this is my absolute range, because I never want to change that range even if I copy it somewhere else. The only thing that will be changing here is why my values are 35, is because it's picking up the value from column 1. You see, this is my column 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's picking up the volume from value from column number 2 right here. This is the column. So for January, I do want to pick up from column number 2, but for February, I want to pick up for column number 3. For March, I want to pick up from column number 4. Boom. Done. Okay, this is how simple VLOOKUP is. Yes, it gets a little bit tricky, but you have this recording. Please pause it anytime, and I will be able to answer you any questions during today's class. I will show you guys one more time of how to do this. All right. With this, I'm gonna I'm gonna stop this for a second, but I want to show you one more thing, and that is called filtering. So filtering is available in your data tab, okay, right here, or it's also in your home tab. You go to filter, filter. Now, how does it filter? Right here, I'm going to click here, and I'm going to filter this cells right here. When I go to my data and hit filter, or I go here and hit filter, it brings a little drop-down menu here. So now I can filter it using whatever I like. Also, it can filter it using ascending or descending. Okay, the formula is here, so it kind of goes crazy, right? See, now it's even changed because I moved it ascending, descending. So it kind of goes sometimes crazy because of the formulas that I had there. But you can actually select different things. You can search items from here. You can search item here. Oh, not the Yahoo. But let's say if I go here and I say rent. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? If I go here and say rent, see only rent shows up here. Room rent, rent. I can go ahead and you see how it adds up another, so I can clear the filter. So it is very helpful, especially when you have a lot of data. This filtering helps a lot. One thing, let me do this here with the graph. One more thing I want to show you guys, the graph too. You guys have learned the graph, but the graph that changes with the information that you have, we'll do that in a second. These values are very helpful when you have a lot of data and then you want to sort through that data. You can put the value equals to, so you can actually look into any value that is greater than, let's say, $3,000. It will show up and or. So and means, so it will look for two positives. So if it's an if condition, right? But it will make sure that it is greater than and let's say less than 30,000. Okay, so it's looking for a value that is greater than 3,000 and less than 30,000. So it is showing you all those values among this whole chart. So this is a very good tool that can help you filter a lot of things. So I'm going to clear this filter. So its filtering is good. It helps a lot, especially when you have a lot of data. Okay, so now last thing I'm going to do here, and promise this is the last one, is show you the graph. So graph, you guys have done that previously, but now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly say, so because I'm choosing different things, all right? It was rent and I can say payroll. My value changes. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go to insert graph. And let's do a graph for bar chart. We'll just do a bar chart. Okay. All right, we'll do the bar chart here. So you see how payroll, this is what it gives me. But now if I change it to rent, and it says payroll there, if I change it to rent, And now the graph changes it too. So this is the best part, right? So it helps other utilities, right? So this is very helpful when you are really looking for this it's a customized graph, and it pops up anytime you want to change it. It just quickly helps you bring the graph that you really need for any kind of report that you're doing. And I really like this. This is pretty helpful. Okay. Okay. I hope this video was a little helpful for you guys. You can pause it anytime you want. Ask me any questions you like. Good luck. Play with Excel.